And I'm happy that I was able to share the ring with so many legendary fighters. You know, to become a great fighter, you had to become great. You had to fight great fighters. You had to fight good fighters. So I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for the certain guys that paved the way.
The world of boxing was recently abuzz with excitement as two legends, Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson, teamed up for an intense training session ahead of Tyson's highly anticipated fight against Jake Paul. This unexpected collaboration has captured the imagination of fans and pundits alike, eager to see what insights and skills these two icons might share. Following their training session, Mayweather finally broke his silence, offering his first words about the experience. Mayweather, known for his impeccable defensive skills and unbeaten professional record, has always been a student of the game. His decision to train with Tyson, a heavyweight known for his ferocious power and aggressive style, was met with both surprise and intrigue. The training session was not just about honing Tyson's skills for the upcoming bout, but also about merging the distinct boxing philosophies of these two greats. In his first public comments after the session, Mayweather expressed admiration for Tyson's work ethic and enduring passion for the sport. Mayweather also shared some insights into what went down during their training. According to him, the focus was on refining Tyson's already formidable power and blending it with defensive techniques that could give him an edge against a younger opponent like Jake Paul. Despite their contrasting styles, the two boxers found common ground in their approach to the sport. Mayweather emphasized the importance of strategy and mental toughness, qualities that have defined his career, while Tyson brought an intensity and ferocity that only he can deliver. Meanwhile, Francis Ngannou has made his prediction on Mike Tyson's clash with Jake Paul, and he thinks there's no substitute for experience. Paul, age 27, is in the peak of his athletic career, whereas Tyson recently celebrated turning 58. Ngannou, who sharpened his skills under Tyson's guidance before his boxing debut against Tyson Fury last December, is confident that his former mentor still has what it takes to overcome Paul. "I think Tyson will still beat his height," he told assembled media in Washington, D.C., including TalkSport. Numerous medical experts have sounded the alarm, cautioning Iron Mike about the serious health risks he could face by stepping back into the ring against an opponent 3 decades younger.
I'm not scared. Sorry, I'm not scared of shit. No, not at all. Not at all. I was born for this. I was born for this moment. The universe told me this was going to happen. You can ask Mike. I did ayahuasca, called him up and said, we're going to fight on the biggest stage possible. It's destiny. And now here we are years later actually making it happen. I was made for this moment, born to do this, and I'm going to put on the performance of a lifetime on November 15th, and the universe will align for all of its glory and good for God.
Stephen Hughes, a senior lecturer in medicine at Anglia Ruskin University, asserts that Tyson's advanced age and history of alcoholism significantly heighten his vulnerability to subdural hematomas and strokes. In the meantime, Dave Hancock, the globally acclaimed fitness specialist and ex-physio for Chelsea, Leeds United, and the England national team, warned that it could have catastrophic consequences for his health. Ngannou, however, is not as concerned. Asked what sort of condition Tyson is in at his advanced age, Ngannou replied, "He's definitely not as he was when he was young, but when he moves around and shows you something, I'm like, what the hell is this?" So I think that is something that people don't understand about Mike Tyson. His footwork is still there. He can move from your left to your right in the blink of an eye. Paul has faced significant criticism from the boxing community for agreeing to a bout with an opponent who had started his professional career a dozen years before Paul was even born. The former Disney star boasts an impressive 7-1 record in professional boxing, with his sole loss being inflicted by Tommy Fury, the younger sibling of the renowned WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury.
I'm beautiful, and I've been training for a while, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I'm just asking when you get into camp.
I'm okay to fight.
But when you get into camp, like when?
I'm in camp right now.
Very good, thank you.
I'm in camp right now.
Thanks very much.
Paul faced intense criticism for bypassing traditional boxing contenders choosing instead to face former UFC champions like Anderson Silva and Tyron Woodley in his early matches. But opinions are split. Some eagerly anticipate it, others vocally oppose it, and a few remain undecided. Regardless of the differing views, one thing is certain. A showdown is set for Friday night, November 15th, as former two-time heavyweight champion Mike Tyson steps into the ring against YouTuber-turned-professional boxer Jake Paul. When we first caught wind of this unexpected matchup, it was slated for June 20th. However, due to a medical hiccup, the fight was pushed back. In May, during a flight from Miami to Los Angeles, Mike Tyson required urgent medical care for an ulcer flare-up. The Boxing Hall of Famer has since fully recuperated and is now gearing up for his next bout. Just last week, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson took the stage at the Fanatics Fest 2024, held at the Jacob Javits Center in New York, for a press conference. Former Pittsburgh Steelers player and current sports analyst Ryan Clark took the stage as the host of the press conference. True to form, Mike Tyson was greeted with enthusiastic applause from the city of New York.
Always in handcuffs. So I'm very careful when that guy comes out.
You break out in handcuffs?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
Every time I drink, get ready to get in a fight, I break out in handcuffs. Hey, listen, it's unfortunately I have to fight and be that guy. I wish I could stop that guy. That guy haunts me. I wish I could stop that guy. I wish I could stop that guy. I wish that guy died, but he's here to stay.
While Jake Paul, the contentious figure of the event, faced a torrent of disapproval from the audience. As Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fielded questions about their upcoming bout, an unmistakable sense of tension hung in the air. This unconventional pairing is quickly turning into a captivating clash, as it's clear that both fighters are grappling with their own brand of apprehension. For Jake Paul, trepidation is palpable for clear-cut reasons. For the first time in his career, he's up against an adversary with elite boxing prowess. On top of that, this opponent possesses the power to end the fight with a single, decisive blow.
I love you, Mike.
Same.
And I'm very nervous for you.
Thank you for caring.
I do care. I care about you. And I care about my brother. And I know the path he's on right now. And it's ruthless, Mike.
I agree. It's pretty cool.
It's cool. It's so cool to watch, and he's really crushing it. And I just feel like I want you to be okay in there.
Jake Paul will face his greatest challenges in the early rounds, where critical questions will come into focus. Will he be able to hold his ground while moving backwards? Is he resilient enough to withstand a punch from someone like Tyson? Most crucially, can he defend against or endure a body blow from the legendary Mike Tyson? Despite the lingering questions that might be causing Jake Paul some anxiety, Mike Tyson faces his own mental hurdles. While Tyson, with a record of 50 wins and 44 knockouts, clearly boasts superior boxing skills, the factor that equalizes the odds is his age. At 58, Mike Tyson is well aware that he's not as nimble as he once was.
I want you got to take him serious, Mike, because
I take him extremely serious. I take him extremely serious. These people don't take him serious.
No, they don't, and it's such a mistake because he's a real killer, Mike. Like, he wanted to be a Navy SEAL before he started boxing. Like in high school, he wants to be a Navy SEAL. He wanted to go kill people on behalf of his country.
I'm fearful. I'm fearful of my 13-year-old son. And this is what I learned through my 58 years of experience. What my experience is that anyone's capable of killing you. In my life and the way I lived my life and what I've seen, anyone's capable of killing you, so you should be apprehensive for anyone. That's just my life, the life that I live. Everyone around me, anybody I know is capable of killing you. Even if I don't know you, that's how I look at people. They're all capable of killing you. So I look at them at that, and my objective's like that. So they're capable of killing me. I don't sleep on them. I'm not overconfident with anybody else.
However, the good news is that raw power often endures the longest. Tyson still seems to possess enough of that explosive force to make an impact on Jake Paul. Mike Tyson might exude confidence as he steps into the ring, despite the missing elements he's accustomed to. But is there an undercurrent of apprehension stirring within him, driven by the lingering uncertainties? Questions like whether Mike Tyson still has the durability to withstand a right-hand blow from Jake Paul are intriguing. Yet the crux of the matter is whether Tyson can maintain his stamina if a knockout doesn't occur within the first few rounds. If he fails to end the fight early, what's Tyson's backup strategy? The lingering uncertainty surrounding Mike Tyson might be sowing seeds of doubt in the mind of the former two-time heavyweight champ. For those gearing up to watch this fight, these unresolved questions add an extra layer of intrigue to the Tyson versus Paul matchup.
Like,
That's how I look at him.
and he's getting like better and better. It's crazy.
I know this. I know that's why I got to get him before he gets too good.
You're right.
The answers will finally come to light on November 15th, making the anticipation all the more electrifying. Predicting the outcome of a fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul isn't straightforward. It's a complex puzzle with many possible scenarios. Tyson would likely dominate in the early rounds, but if the bout stretches beyond the 4th round, Jake Paul could turn the tide and potentially emerge victorious. Paul's been on a winning streak, notching up 4 victories in just the past year. Meanwhile, Iron Mike has been largely out of the ring for over 2 decades, with only a 20-on-20 exhibition to his name and occasional sightings in a wheelchair. Considering these factors, Paul appears to have a clear advantage heading into their bout. Tyson, celebrated as one of boxing's greatest, still holds a formidable reputation with his legendary knockout power and substantial size advantage over the problem child. Ngannou is convinced these attributes will be enough for Tyson to overpower the former Disney star.
It was good. I thought Mike, I don't know, Mike was a little bit weird. When he was pushing me, though, he was having the time of his life.
Yeah, so when Jake and Mike did their face-to-face at the end of the press conference, first thing Mike did was come up to Jake, started throwing punches, some pushes.
He's like giggling and smiling and shit.
Last press run for Mike when the fight was first on, you were tubby. Like, you were the tubbiest I've seen Jake, so I can't blame him for...
Tyson made it clear how highly he valued Jake, noting that while some might overlook him, he never did. Reflecting on his 58 years of experience, Tyson observed that everyone carries the potential to be dangerous, a realization that has ingrained in him a profound wariness of others. He wrapped up with a down-to-earth perspective on the forthcoming bout. 2 contenders would step into the ring, one would walk away triumphant, and eventually, they might face off again before both return to their separate paths, heading to their respective banks to continue their daily routines. In the interview, Tyson revealed that his relative inexperience in modern boxing is what sets him apart from Jake Paul's previous opponents. He candidly acknowledged Jake's strength as a formidable contender, emphasizing that this assessment was purely his own perspective. Tyson challenged anyone who doubted his age or abilities to confront him directly. He drew a clear distinction between himself and Jake's previous adversaries, noting that while they were untroubled and resolute,
boxer, terrifying. You know, even when I met him at one point backstage at a stadium at a fight, and I was like, I'm still terrified of you from watching you. You know, but then that guy he started becoming, where he became more explorative and he was looking into what, the meaning of life and, having a smoke every now and then and stuff like that, I was like, I'm enjoying this, Mike. Yeah. I'm liking the evolution. What bothers me with this whole thing is that he's got a...
He approached the fight with a mix of anxiety and trepidation. Tyson felt these very emotions were what distinguished him from the others, fueling his focus and intensity in the ring. The former heavyweight champ, once hailed as the planet's most intimidating figure, might be risking it all by stepping back into the ring. However, when questioned on Sunday about his decision to take on Jake Paul, Tyson answered without hesitation, "Because I can. Who else can do it but me? Who else is he going to fight to make this happen?" Tyson said, motioning toward the crowd at a packed press conference where fans cheered him and booed Paul. He added, "We've just got to listen to the facts. We've got a YouTuber fighting the greatest fighter that ever lived." Tyson expressed that he felt good and had resumed exercising 2 or 3 weeks earlier. "Hey, listen, I'm just ready," Tyson said confidently. As the undisputed champion, Tyson ruled the heavyweight boxing world from 1987 to 1990. Despite retiring in 2005, he made headlines worldwide with a surprising return in 2020 for an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr.
I'm just not sure he needed to do it.
Yeah. He's the reason why this table's so wide.
Why is that?
Because I was going to make the table more narrow and be closer to the guests. I had him on.
His comeback reignited fan excitement, so much so that many were disheartened when an overpacked crowd at his final appearance during Fanatics Fest in New York forced numerous attendees to be turned away. When Tyson was forced to withdraw from a previous fight, he was replaced by Mike Perry, a bare-knuckle fighting champion. On July 20th, Perry stepped into the ring but ultimately succumbed to defeat in the 6th round. Like many of Paul's previous challengers, Perry's background was rooted in mixed martial arts rather than traditional boxing. Now, Perry eagerly awaits a rematch, still harboring hopes of facing Tyson. Despite facing health challenges, Tyson is unwavering in his belief that they won't hinder his performance. He said, "I had a small adversity. I got sick, but I'm better now. I feel good." At 58, Tyson still shares training videos that showcase the remarkable strength he possessed in his prime. But his comeback fight faces considerable resistance. Frosh remarked, "It's a shame Tyson is getting in the ring with this idiot Jake Paul. It's just a clown world. It shouldn't be happening. I don't like it. But I hope Tyson can go in there and not get hurt and make a few quid." Jake Paul's foray into professional boxing has often felt like a grand illusion, fueled by a relentless hunger for fame.
Coming where he became more explorative and he was looking into what, the meaning of life and, having a smoke every now and then and stuff like that, I was like, I'm enjoying this, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm liking the evolution.
Rogan repeatedly expressed skepticism. His journey mirrors the surreal spectacle now defining Tyson's reality. On November 15th, both fighters will step into the ring for a highly anticipated event broadcast to millions. They will don their boxing gloves and perform the rituals of the sport, one weighed down by age, the other by a glaring lack of skill, while collectively cashing in on their considerable earnings. Paul remarked, "I think that was like the 8th biggest ever. I think everyone would be happy with like 25 million. That would break the streaming record of the AFC game, the one before the Super Bowl, which was streamed on Peacock and got like 22 million live viewers. So, if we beat that, everyone is going to be happy." Meanwhile, UFC Hall of Famer Michael Bisping has fiercely criticized the fight, branding it an absolute travesty. He denounced the bout as a joke, a farce, and a blatant insult to the integrity of boxing. Bisping also took aim at Paul, calling him a charlatan who has chosen the path of least resistance to achieve fame.
Is he really a young killer?
Yeah, you had to go on your little menopause break and postpone the fight, so yeah. What about that, dog? I was ready before. You needed a little break. Your tummy hurt? Your tummy hurt still?
I feel a lot better now.
The lingering question remains. At 58, can Tyson still pull off an unforeseen victory? Or is this match merely a lucrative ploy for the seasoned fighter? Bisping didn't mince words, sharply critiquing both the fight and Jake Paul's role in it. He began by acknowledging Tyson's historic prowess, but quickly pointed out a stark truth. The man's almost 60. Bisping emphasized that today's Tyson bears little resemblance to the once fearsome fighter who instilled dread in his opponents. He went on to say, "Jake, I hate to point out the obvious, but this makes you look pathetic." Bisping found Paul's behavior at the press conference especially troubling, when Paul told the booing crowd, "You're just like Mike Tyson. You were good 20 years ago." It didn't sit well with Bisping. He saw it as Paul inadvertently admitting the fight is lopsided. "You just admitted that you're going up against an old man," Bisping said. He criticized Paul further, calling him a disgrace to the combat world, adding, "You are a joke, you are a wannabe, you're a fake." For Bisping, this bout represents little more than a handsome paycheck, far removed from a genuine test of athleticism. Despite the criticism, Mike Tyson remained resolute during the press conference, brushing off concerns about his age or past glories. He confidently declared, "I'm doing this because I can. Who else can do it but me?" His words highlighted his unique position in this unconventional clash.
Never give me credit. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. If I was walking on water, they would say it's because I couldn't swim. And this is to make history. You know, if people think I'm going to get knocked out by this strong, powerful guy, all the people in my comments saying, "Look at his power, he's going to get KO'd." People are yelling at me in the event. But what happens when I put this man to sleep? This shit is not a joke. He's saying that it's going to be my funeral. He's saying it's going to be my wake. He's going to kill Jake Paul, all of these things. And that's why I love Mike, I respect him, but we're not friends anymore. Until November 15th, I'm knocking this motherfucker out, and we're going to see who's dead. We will see who's...
Recently, Joe Rogan shared his thoughts on the fight during a conversation with actor Russell Crowe. Rogan expressed concern for Tyson's health and issued a warning to Jake Paul about a crucial aspect of the matchup. Few boxers in history have matched Tyson's sheer aura of intimidation. At his zenith, the former heavyweight champion was a force of nature, a maelstrom of power and aggression that struck fear into his opponents. But now, Tyson is contending with an adversary 3 decades his junior, and the stakes are higher than ever. Despite his intense training and meticulous preparation, there's a growing sentiment that Tyson might struggle against his younger opponent, who previously enthralled audiences as a social media sensation. Crowe expressed hope for both fighters, emphasizing the importance of their safety and wishing they would avoid injury. He hoped the fight would rise above the spectacle that has surrounded it, acknowledging it as a legitimate contest and wishing for both competitors to showcase their best without any harm befalling them. Jake Paul has vowed for an explosive and ferocious end to their confrontation, branding it as an epic showdown for the ages. He challenged his skeptics, daring them to envision the moment when Mike Tyson not himself hits the mat. Despite Tyson's chilling threats of a final reckoning, Paul stressed that their former camaraderie has morphed into a bitter feud, discarding any pretense of mutual respect. Paul promised to land a decisive blow, setting the stage for a dramatic duel where only one will emerge victorious.